Hi everyone, good evening and welcome to this webinar run by the University of Reading. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. So today we're going to be focusing on routes to university, specifically for those who have done an access course, so from access course to university. So a very warm welcome this evening. My name is Louise Izzard and I'm a Regional Student Recruitment and Access Officer, and I'm based full-time in London. So I work with students in Greater London, just explaining different, higher education options to them, all different things such as personal statements, student finance, and I work in the global recruitment team at Reading. I'm also joined today by my colleague Rachel, who will just introduce herself now.
Yes, hi, so my name's Rachel. I also work in the global recruitment team. I'm also a student recruitment and access officer, but I am based full-time normally in Reading, and I go out to the local area of surrounding Reading and do events, careers fairs, assemblies and things like that.
Fab, thank you, Rachel. So, well, what we're going to cover today, we're going to cover a bit of student life. We're also going to talk about entry requirements, specifically for those coming from access courses. We're going to talk about student support at university, and we're going to do a quick whistle-stop tour of student finance as well. So we're doing a bit of everything this evening. Let's get started with student life. For those who are studying an access course, it's rather likely that you will join university as a mature student. So you might be more interested in the kind of opportunities and support there is available for students who are joining a university and might be a bit older than the usual age of, quite a few students go at 18, 19, but, anyone can go to university at any age whatsoever. You can go to university at the age of 90 if you want to. There is no upper limit. When I was at university, there was a few mature students on my course as well. And, we were all just students together and had a great time, and they were just as part of the course as anyone else was. So just to go into a little bit more detail about what is available for mature students. So at the University of Reading and at plenty of other universities as well, we have a mature student rep. So that is a student who is a mature student themselves, and they are a representative for our student union, and they are a voice for mature students. So they can advise the students union about certain changes or certain provisions that other mature students would like. We also have accommodation for families, couples and mature students on our campus and near our campus. So these include things such as 52-week contracts. Some of our other students prefer to go for contracts that don't include the summer holidays, but if you've got family, you might prefer something that is a longer housing contract. We also have childcare on site, so we have a daycare centre on our White Knights campus, which has places available for staff and students at the university. At Reading, we also have a mature students network. So this is a virtual network, but also it's kind of like a social group as well. So mature students can get in touch with each other, and there's all sorts of social events going on, whether that be cocktail classes at our cocktail bar on campus, or coffee mornings, also study support available. Mature students, they can get involved with those social opportunities with each other if they'd like to as well. But aside from, getting involved with other mature students and having that social community, at Reading particularly, we are an extremely inclusive atmosphere, and all of our mature students often say that whilst the majority of students on their course might be younger than them, they always feel a massive part of that student community. They always feel so at home in the department, get very close to their lecturers and their seminar leaders, and really enjoy that student and study experience at any age. So now I'm just going to pass over to Rachel to talk a little bit more about student support.
Brilliant, thank you very much, Louise. Yes, so the support available at the University of Reading. So when you arrive at the University of Reading, you'll be allocated a member of academic staff as your academic tutor. So your academic tutor will help you settle into Reading and help you make the most of your time with us. And you'll meet on a regular basis to reflect on your progress and develop your personal development plan. So there's loads of support available to you to support you throughout your time on your degree programme. We also have the Life Tools programme. So the Life Tools programme covers 3 main areas. So it looks at academic tools, resilience tools, and personal development tools. And the talks are free to attend and they're open to all students as well. Louise mentioned earlier on RUSU, so Reading University Student Union, and they offer an academic advice service for students, support and guidance and confidential advice on all academic matters. And so because the RUSU is an independent body, it's run by students, for students, so lots of students, no matter what age they might be, can find some really valuable advice from the RUSU academic advice service. We also have study advisors, so they can help you with essay skills, referencing, maths. The service isn't just for those who are struggling, but it's available to any student who just wants to work more effectively and maybe increase their grades. Study advisors will equip you with the necessary tools and the practices to help you fulfill your academic potential and to succeed. So that's another really valuable tool available to our students. We've also got a fantastic careers team. So our careers team are here to help. They offer advice and support. They have online resources and a full events program as well. Every year, the careers team host an extensive program of events, including recruitment fairs and workshops as well. We also have lots of different degree programs which have placements as a part of them. So placements give you a chance to get real world experience and increase your employability. And they also provide some really useful examples for your CV. So examples of work experience you can put on your CV. We've also got the RED Award. So the Reading Experience and Development Award, it's the official University of Reading Employability Skills Certificate. So its purpose is to help students make the most of the extracurricular activities and experiences on offer outside of the academic programme. So the RED Award offers students the chance to develop new skills and gain new experience through a variety of different activities, so volunteering, training, and interacting with others. So also some mature students who come to the University of Reading, they might have children, and obviously students have got lots of different, they come from lots of different life experiences and walks of life, but there's lots of support available for those who might have a family. So we've got some excellent childcare facilities on campus to make life as easy as possible. So we've got our Little Learners Nursery, which provides childcare places exclusively for students and staff of the University of Reading. And it's staffed by a team of experienced and professional childcare practitioners. And then we've also got the Little Owl Preschool, which holds places for children aged 2 to 5 years. As well as that, so the university has a range of accommodation which is suitable for students with children. Also, options include, houses with converted rooms or self-contained flats and purpose-built studio rooms. And all of that university accommodation is located either on the White Knights campus or within easy walking distance as well. So if you aren't particularly local to Reading and you might need to move with your family, then there are kind of options available to you. And also for full-time students with children, you may qualify for some extra financial help. So it's always worth looking into the options available to you. So entry requirements, obviously, if you're thinking about going on to university, it's important to make sure you research the entry requirements prior to applying. So the Access to Higher Education Diploma, it is a qualification which prepares people for study at university. And many of our courses at the University of Reading do accept that qualification as a viable entry into higher education. It is important to make sure that the programme you're currently on is QAA recognised, and that's the Quality Assurance Agency. So there is lots of kind of information online to find like a list of recognised diplomas. It also might be the case that if a course requires a specific A-level subject as a part of the entry requirements, it might be that the admissions department need to have a conversation with you just to make sure that you're taking the right units as a part of your Access to HE diploma in order to be able to enter onto an undergraduate degree. So you might need to, as I said, you might need to speak to admissions department directly if you've got any specific questions about your course. But on many of our on our website pages, on many of our entry requirements, it does list the different qualifications that you'd need to get in order to, the entry requirements. So there is kind of some variations of the different qualifications that they accept. So it's really important as well to sell yourself in your personal statement. And so I've got a couple of top tips for that. So the first recommended thing for you to answer when you're writing your personal statement is why now? So a question that mature students should address is why you've decided to change direction and apply to university at this particular point in your life. It might be that it was always your plan, but it might be that it's been a change of direction, and it's really important, and it will help the admissions tutor get a picture of you and your commitment and your sustainability for the course if you're able to outline that in your personal statement. And they also might require some reflection as to why you didn't choose to go to university immediately after school or college, and maybe kind of the things that you've been doing from that point to now. Another thing it's important to kind of show in your personal statement is evidence of your recent study. So it might be that you're currently studying an Access to HE diploma. So of course that's a viable route onto higher education. So talk about that in your personal statement. And this will just display that you enjoy studying, that you're capable of studying, and that you're ready to rejoin academia. And that would be reflect that in your personal statement. And it's also important to demonstrate your personal progression. So for a college leaver, it's easy for them to show that the next step is a degree in a subject that's relevant to what they've already been learning. But for you, for you as a mature applicant, you've got the opportunity to show a sense of progression from maybe some years of experience that you've got, personal experiences. Show those to the admissions tutor, and then talk about how your next kind of relevant step is undergraduate degree in order to go on to whatever career that you're thinking of pursuing. And you can also talk about interests, you can talk about hobbies, but if kind of the reason you're going on to higher education is for a new career, then make sure you kind of specify that and you show your awareness of that kind of career and maybe some of the challenges, and just make sure you kind of demonstrate that you've researched this before you apply. Another thing that admissions like to see is your understanding of the commitment of studying a full-time degree. And this can be done by knowing what goal you're hoping the degree will lead to, and maybe writing about how you desire to achieve that goal, despite some of the sacrifices that it will require. And you can also address it head on simply by demonstrating your awareness of the pressures and commitment needed and your readiness and ability to kind of see the degree through. And then the final kind of top tip for personal statements is about keeping your personal statement honest and personal. There might be less tangible reasons for applying to university as a mature applicant than kind of simply training for a new career. So some of the research and some of the kind of feedback is make it kind of personal to you, and be honest. You're going to have a lot of fantastic experiences to talk about, so this is your opportunity to kind of really sell yourself and why now in your life is the perfect time for you to be going on to study an undergraduate degree, and to kind of get all the benefits that that entails. And I'll hand back to Louise.
That's great. Thank you, Rachel. So let's talk about student finance. So there are two main costs associated with the university, and that is your tuition fee. And a tuition fee is the cost of your course per year, and that is paid to your institution. So that money goes directly to the university, and they can charge up to £9,250 per year. So that money doesn't go in your bank account. You don't need to worry about it. Just goes straight to the university if you've applied for a student loan. You've then, of course, got your living costs. This might include things such as books, travel, rent, bills, food, stationery, social life, etc., etc. And this is paid directly to you in your bank account in instalments, and it is means tested. So it does depend on your situation, how much living allowance you will get. So for those of you obviously studying on access courses, this is something that might be particularly important to you, and that is the Advanced Learner Loan. So for your access course, if you have taken out a loan to cover the cost of that course, Student Finance England will write off any outstanding Advanced Learner Loan balances you owe for your Access to HE course once you complete a higher education course. This means that you do not have to repay it. So basically, if you choose to study at university and you complete your undergraduate degree, once you have completed your degree, the loan that you took out will be written off. So you won't have to pay any of that money back. The caveat to that is that the higher education course that you attend must be eligible for student finance. So if it meets that criteria, as I say, your loan will be written off. If you want to find out more about the exact rules and regulations and how all of this works in terms of writing off your loan, make sure that you go to www.gov.uk/advancedlearnerloan and you can find out all the exact details there. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. And if you are applying to university, then best of luck with your applications. It's always important, as we've said, to do your research. Do get onto those university websites and UCAS and make sure that everything fits your criteria and entry requirements. And yeah, best of luck with any applications that you make. Thanks very much, everyone.